So I've been gone for a while here, and there's been a lot that's happened. I mean, we have the MAGA hats invading, we have the furries raiding, and Trump is ban evading. It's been quite a time. Now, I've been MIA. Now, my name's Faith Moliminous, and I've been MIA because my hard drive crashed in my computer. And so I haven't been able to get out videos, and unfortunately that means that the whole anime series that I was doing was put on major pause. But I wanted to go ahead and come to you guys and talk about everything that's recently happened, because there was something funny that kind of relates to things that I typically talk about. Now, I'm not a furry, but I do follow a lot of artists, and a lot of artists cater to furries because, hey, Furries pay like $6,000 for commissions. Like these, I don't know where furries get their money from, but they certainly have a lot of it. And one of the artists that I followed, though I don't really like because of his exorbitant prices that he charges for it almost seems manipulative, but hey, that's the free market for you. If people are willing to pay for it, someone's gonna price it at that point. Now, this guy's Miles DF, and I don't know much about the guy personally. I don't know if he is a guy. I don't know if he's a girl. I don't know what race he is or where he's from. But he recently put out an art piece that got him some hot water. Now, where have we heard this story before? This seems to be a common trope that happens. Someone draws something that people don't like, and people make sure you know it. Now, that is the beauty of social media, though, is that everyone gets a voice, no matter how shit the opinion is. Now, this guy, Miles DF, he made a shirt. It's pretty standard furry bait. It's some wolf fox girl, got her tongue out. You can see the piercing, maybe even appealing to vor people or something. I don't know what you furries do, all right? But there was a little bit of a spiciness added on in there. There was a shirt there that says, America's First. Now, if you've been paying attention, if you're American, I don't have to explain the issue going on here. But if you're an American, that's kind of a problematic statement to be said, because it kind of relates back to KKK stuff, white supremacist stuff, all those bad guys in American history. America First pretty much says white people first, in a sense. That's typically what it's being used for, and even then it's a very xenophobic kind of sentiment. Now, I am a left-leaning individual. I used to be pretty right. If you go back in my content, I was fairly right-leaning with all the jokes I've made. I've grown up a bit. I've moved more to the left, but I don't necessarily agree with everything that's done on the left. I'd sometimes even go further, though, so it just depends. Now, I am one that thinks all art should pretty much be protected. But here's the thing. Miles DF got into hot water for this, and I think it's totally justified. Let's talk about that, all right? Because I feel like there are some individuals that think that freedom of speech means freedom from consequence, and that is not the case. You can say whatever dumbass opinion you have, just like I can, and plenty of other people can comment on it. So the reason why my comments are open is because I know there will be people who disagree with me, but I also know there's people who are going to agree with me. That's the beauty of it. When you put out an art piece, it's probably going to get criticism. Now, most of Miles DF's stuff is just Coomer stuff, so the only opinions that are going to be put out there are just people literally jacking off to it. But in this case, there was a political message in there. People commented on it. People called him a racist. Now, I don't think, or I don't know enough to call this guy a racist. I will say you're begging towards probably the alt-right crowd when you're putting images like America First in your thing, and it turns out he's not even American, and his excuse for doing so was he didn't understand current American politics. Now, maybe it's because I am American and I think the world revolves around us, but it does seem kind of weird that you're putting a shirt like that not knowing the political climate in America. Like, it just seems a little weird. I don't really buy it. We kind of have a lot of stuff that goes on that makes international news. Pretty much everyone's paying attention to us for good reason. We're a huge shit show, and it's fun to watch a dumpster fire. But his other excuse was that it was actually going to be part of a comic series. And, no, this girl is actually racist. So I guess he does know that America is like part of some sort of, or the term is associated with some sort of right-leaning movement that's kind of racist, because that was the whole point, was that it was racist. and that she's turned by having someone, a bunny girl, I guess, show her the errors of her ways. So you're kind of contradicting yourself. You're not American, so you don't understand the concepts, or you're not American, but you understand exactly what you were doing. In fact, you were tying it into a story. That's really one of the issues with a lot of people. If you're going to say something, and especially if you're going to say something racist, either stand by it and don't say it at all. Because if you try to weasel out of it, it's going to make a lot more people angry and upset at you. This shirt in of itself isn't really racist, but things don't exist in a vacuum. With everything going on, we all know what this shirt ties to. The only people who say that they don't see it as being like tied to some sort of political movement or something like that are being completely disingenuous. I don't think this art is bad, and I don't think this art piece should be deleted. And even though this person went on some weird emo trip where they're linking a bunch of sad songs and borderline turned the profile picture to a black background with that classic anime fucking icon of Kaneki and despair, you know, I don't think it's really that bad. There's a lot worse things going on, and I think this furry bait thing isn't really that important. That being said, I think other people saying you can't criticize this artist are equally dumb. Anytime you put something out there on the internet, be it for views or to state some sort of political opinion or just because you like it, you have to understand that you're going to be interacting with people who may disagree with you. And those disagreements might come in a giant wave if you put something political and if you're a large enough figure. You have to realize that freedom of expression, freedom of speech, all of this stuff means everyone else has it. And them collectively canceling you isn't them taking away your freedom of speech or your freedom of expression. It's them using theirs as well. No one owes you a positive comment. No one owes you a negative one. But they all have the ability to give either or. That being said, I do think the canceling that goes on is really dumb. If you were to go back in my history, you would probably find a lot of right-leaning jokes that are horrible. Jokes that I don't agree with. Jokes that I probably didn't even agree with back then. But because I was a young kiddo influenced by various other YouTubers, content creators that I thought were smart, I said them. They all told me like, oh no, it's not racist to say this. But it would get me radicalized into other things. I was pretty bad in my younger days. Now that I'm a slightly older person, slightly more matured, you know, I'm no longer 14. I understand the more nuanced approach to all these topics. But if you canceled me back then for being the little shit stain that I was, I don't know if I would have grown. If your whole goal is to make people realize that some of these things are problematic and that they have weight to them, then I think you should also give them the opportunity to show that they can change, to show that, you know, yes, you fucked up. Yes, yeah, you do deserve some consequence, but no, we're not going to end your fucking life. There have been so many people who have had their livelihoods destroyed, etc. Some with completely deserved reasoning. Some are completely deserved. Others were dumb kids doing dumb kid things that they will grow out of. And if you use it as a teaching experience, it's way better. I don't know if Miles DF is racist. I don't know if he's sexist. I don't know if it's a he. But I do think that this shirt definitely could have a conversation about it with everything that's going on now. I don't think he needs to have his life ruined because of it. And he's probably not. There's a good number of people who agree with him. The right is very strong in numbers. The left is very strong in numbers. So it kind of balances itself out. It just depends on your platform. But that's just my take. Whether you're on the right or left, you should understand that if you want people to go with your political opinion, one of the things that you shouldn't do is cancel them. Not outright, not immediately. It's obviously circumstantial, but hey, let me know your opinion down below. Now, if you guys think this is racist, if you think it's not racist, go and let me know. Really, 2021 has been shaping up to be a very interesting year. Man, let's just hope it's turns out to be better than 2020. I've been Faith and Moliminous. I love your faces, so if you at least like my video, and I will see you guys in the next one.